trusted news source, ABC6 News at noon.
Good afternoon, everybody. We start with the weather because why wouldn't we? On a day that looks like this, here's the view with our sky cam. An absolutely gorgeous June afternoon, Chelsea.
Yeah, it's really pretty outside today, Doreen. We're looking at sunshine. We're looking at mild temperatures. Right now in Providence, we are sitting in the upper 70s range, and there's low humidity levels. Dew points are in that mid-50s range, which still leaves us with a more comfortable feel to the air. Most of us are seeing temperatures in the 70s range across Rhode Island, but some 80s for Norwood, Taunton, New Bedford sitting at 80 degrees right now, 77 in Newport, 79 in Providence. A few degrees warmer right now than where we were yesterday at this time. And again, plenty of sunshine out there again today. So a really, really great day, similar to yesterday, if not a couple of degrees warmer. A couple passing fair weather clouds. There's also some rain showing up to our north and our west. We've been tracking that line all morning long. I'm going to continue to keep an eye on it, but it really fizzles by the time it gets here in southern New England. So what we're looking at is a lot of clouds continuing, or sunshine rather, continuing for the rest of the day, with temperatures in the low 80s range this afternoon. And then some clouds roll through overnight along that line of rain showers. Couple little spotty showers possible, but we're back to full sunshine tomorrow. I'll let you know a better chance of rain as we head closer to the 4th of July weekend coming up in just a few minutes. Doreen?
All right, Chelsea, thank you. And new at noon today, a man is dead, killed in a moped accident in Newport. It happened just after 6 this morning at the Rotary near the Admiral Calvus Road and Connell Highway. Police say the man was dead when they arrived on the scene. No other cars were involved. His name hasn't been released yet. And a mysterious missing fire hydrant in Woonsocket. The Woonsocket Water Division says the hydrant on Cranston Street was stolen right outside the entrance to the Woonsocket Head Start daycare. ABC6 News reporter Yanni Trigelis is in the newsroom this noontime as the city tries to figure out who did this. Yanni.
Yeah, Doreen, the Woonsocket Water Division is trying to figure out who stole this fire hydrant off the street in the city. And the hydrant has been missing since at least yesterday afternoon. And I spoke with some neighbors who were shocked to see it missing. A puzzling sight for those on Cranston Street in Woonsocket, where you'd normally see a fire hydrant along the sidewalk, is now replaced with a traffic cone. This after the Woonsocket Water Division says someone stole the hydrant that used to line the sidewalk.
Really? You gotta be kidding me.
Those living on Cranston Street shocked someone would steal a fire hydrant.
Why would you steal it? What made you do that?
At this point, it's still unclear when the hydrant may have been stolen, and Woonsocket Mayor Lisa Baldelli-Hunt also adding the hydrant could have been hit by a car and knocked over. Dennis LeClaire, who lives right across the street, says he didn't see or hear anything.
Didn't see anything happen, actually, until the cone was up. It happened quick. It must have happened in the middle of the night.
Some residents worried Wednesday morning about if they will have any water issues until the hydrant is replaced. But Mayor Baldelli-Hunt assuring them there won't be, telling ABC6 the city is water-rich with more than 2,000 hydrants.
You want to steal a fire hydrant from a city that you live in, that you get together with.
Baldelli-Hunt has already said that they have another order placed, and anyone with info is asked to contact the water department. In the newsroom, Yanni Trigelis, ABC6 News.
All right, Yanni, thank you. And state police arrested a driver who hit a Lincoln police cruiser. This happened just before midnight on the 146 South Ramp at Breakneck Hill Road in Lincoln. There is construction ongoing in that area. Police confirmed the cruiser was hit by the other car, but there was not significant damage to either vehicle. We did reach out to state police for more information on any charges. The Providence police officer and former political candidate charged with simple assault and disorderly conduct after an altercation at an abortion rights rally outside the State House Friday night is now facing internal charges with the Providence Police Department. Officer Jean Lugo remains suspended with pay as the investigation continues. Providence Police Administration recommended Officer Lugo be terminated from the force. Union Casino workers for Bally's Twin River are voting to authorize a strike. 92% voted yes to authorize. This vote coming as their contract expires July 1st. Workers are asking for increased staffing with more full-time schedules as well as wage increases. The two sides are scheduled to negotiate again today, and if no deal is reached, the workers could go on strike as soon as July 1. Bally's isn't commenting publicly on the vote. In political news today, the Rhode Island Republican Party will hold its convention tonight at Rhodes on the Patuxent in Cranston, and the party will pick its nominees for this year's election cycle. Former Cranston Mayor Alan Fung is the party's frontrunner for Rhode Island's 2nd Congressional District seat, which is being vacated by Jim Langevin. And according to a recent poll by Suffolk University, Fung is leading the entire race, ahead of every Democratic candidate by 6 points or more. ABC6 spoke with Rhode Island's other House Rep, David Cicilline, at his campaign relaunch, who says it's critical that this open seat stays blue.
I look forward to enthusiastically working for whoever the Democratic nominee is. We cannot afford to give the radical right Republican Party in Washington, which is different than Republicans here in Rhode Island. This is a party of QAnon and corruption and chaos. We cannot give Kevin McCarthy one more vote to become Speaker of the House.
The Rhode Island Democratic Party endorsed General Treasurer Seth Magaziner for the open seat in Congress. And according to the Suffolk poll, he leads the other 5 Democratic candidates and trails Fung by 6 points. Well, Governor Dan McKee signs a bill today requiring 100% of Rhode Island's electricity to be offset by renewable energy by 2033. Under this new standard, utility companies will need to purchase renewable energy projects based on a percentage of the energy they sell to Rhode Islanders. That number will increase year by year until it reaches 100% in 2033. With this bill signing, Rhode Island is the first state to adopt this standard. Well, there is sticker shock in North Attleboro as residents learn that the new projected cost of new bleachers at the high school. Here's ABC6's Alexis Heroic.
More major renovations to the high school athletic fields in North Attleboro hit a snag. Back in 2019, the bleachers at the high school were found unsafe and closed. Since then, the North Attleboro High School has planned to replace these temporary bleachers and the track surrounding the new turf field. But just this past week, the superintendent of schools told the town council that inflation has the cost of these replacements much higher than the original estimate. Not to mention the added cost of needed new concessions as well as code-compliant restrooms that were also added to the plans. Originally, the estimate was $1.8 million. Now the price tag is closer to $6 million. And residents have been complaining for years that the project has not been complete and now are upset about the added costs.
And that was Alexis Heroic. Still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, fallout in Washington today from yesterday's stunning testimony. We'll have the latest. And the death toll rises from the Texas human smuggling case as police start making arrests. And later, Delta taking a preemptive step, allowing people to cancel booked flights before the holiday weekend. All right, developing news happening right now in North Kingstown. A man arrested this morning facing charges for his actions in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. 47-year-old Bernard Sir facing charges. We're going to have much more on that for you on ABC6 News first at 4. And today down in Washington, we're learning from the Secret Service following yesterday's testimony from a top aide to former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. ABC's M. Wynn reports.
That the testimony you're about to give
Explosive testimony from Cassidy Hutchinson, a top aide to former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows.
It was unpatriotic. It was un-American. We were watching the Capitol building get defaced over a lie.
She testified that not only did former President Trump know his supporters on January 6 had weapons, but that he wanted any armed protesters to march freely to the Capitol without going through metal detectors.
I overheard the president say something to the effect of, I don't effing care that they have weapons. They're not here to hurt me. Take the effing mags away. Let my people in. They can march to the Capitol from here.
Cassidy claims she was told by a deputy chief of staff that Trump insisted on driving to the Capitol after the rally and became furious when the agent behind the wheel refused to do so.
The president said something to the effect of, I'm the effing president. Take me up to the Capitol now. The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol." Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel.
The Secret Service now says they're prepared to give sworn testimony to respond to the allegations. One source confirming to ABC News that Trump was unhappy when agents wouldn't take him to the Capitol, but said agents would push back against any allegation that Trump assaulted anyone. Former President Trump disputed Hutchinson's testimony, calling it fake and saying he didn't know her. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
And still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, we'll hear from the first responders who arrived at that truck carrying migrants into Texas about what they witnessed. And we're going to get Chelsea's full 7-day forecast when ABC6 News at noon returns. Now to Texas and the rising toll in the deadliest human smuggling case in U.S. history. 51 people dead after being abandoned in a tractor trailer on a sweltering day. ABC's Alexis Christoforous has the latest on the investigation.
Authorities in San Antonio continuing the grim task today of identifying 51 migrants who died after being abandoned in a tractor trailer in the sweltering Texas heat.
This is nothing short of a horrific human tragedy.
Mexico officials saying the 39 male and 12 female victims, ranging in age from teens to young adults, were from Mexico, Guatemala, and Honduras. First responders describe finding stacks of bodies in the trailer, many hot to the touch, as temperatures outside the truck reached 103 degrees.
The heat was torrential. There was no air in that vehicle. There was no water. They suffered. They lost consciousness, and then they ended up dying.
Authorities say 2 Mexican nationals have been arrested in the tragedy, charged with possessing firearms while in the U.S. illegally. The truck driver, who was caught trying to flee the scene, has been taken into custody. He's expected to be charged in what officials call the deadliest migrant smuggling case in U.S. history. At the scene along that desolate San Antonio road where the truck was found, a growing memorial.
We mourn for those 51 immigrants who came to us to breathe that fresh air.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott is blaming President Biden and his immigration policies for the tractor-trailer tragedy. The White House says Biden's efforts to launch an anti-smuggling campaign has resulted in over 2,400 arrests related to human smuggling in 3 months. The governor is expected to address the press this afternoon. Alexis Christoforous, ABC News, New York.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Chelsea Priest.
A really pretty day here in southern New England. Taking a look from the Block Island North Light, you can see that the water is relatively calm. Winds are light. We have mild temperatures and still relatively comfortable humidity levels outside today. If you are making today a beach day, temps at the coastline in the mid to upper 70s, a low rip risk, but keep in mind UV index is very high this time of year. Our low tide just a little while from now, happening at about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Most of us at the moment already in the mid to upper 70s range. 79 in Providence, 78 in Westerly, 77 for Newport, 78 in Block Island, 80 for New Bedford, 81 in Taunton, 80 in Norwood right now. The average high for this time of year is in that low 80s range. And yesterday we topped out at 80 degrees. I think we come up a little bit above that today. So we're looking at seasonable temperatures right where we should be for the later part of June. Nowhere near our record high that was set back on this day. Last year, we hit 97 degrees, if you can remember it. We're not going to be that warm in our 7-day forecast, but I do have a day that we flirt with 90 degrees, so we'll look at that in just a second. Light and variable breeze at the moment. Eventually this afternoon, a little bit more of a breeze comes in off the coastline, keeping us in that mid to upper 70s range for afternoon temperatures at the coastline. But with a light and variable breeze, we don't pump in the humidity. And today stays pretty comfortable outside. Tomorrow, you notice it starting to rise just a bit, but still relatively comfortable for most of the day tomorrow, even with some warm temperatures. But from there, you can see things really start to peak as we get into Friday afternoon, overnight, and into Saturday. It's not until later in the weekend, Sunday and into especially Monday for the 4th of July, that we slowly see that muggy factor going down a bit. But today and tomorrow, certainly on the lower side of things before we really see things peaking Friday into Saturday. Satellite radar image right now shows you sunshine. You're getting some fair weather clouds passing through at times, but all in all, we're looking at a nice bright afternoon. There is a line of some rain just up to our north and our west. It's really going to kind of fizzle out by the time it gets here, but overnight you'll get some passing clouds and perhaps a few very isolated sprinkles. I don't think it's enough to cause any concern. It's not going to cancel any plans, and it comes through pretty late. This is 9 o'clock. You can see some of those spotty showers showing up. I wouldn't count on this water to get your garden watered or anything like that, because it's in and out very quickly. And by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're in full sunshine again. And tomorrow looks like a mostly sunny day. Overnight Thursday into Friday, again, that muggy factor pumps in. We're looking at Friday staying mainly sunny. Highs are going to be closer to 90 degrees on Friday. It's going to be humid on Friday, which makes us feel even warmer. And then eventually we'll be tracking some rain that's off to our west as we head into the weekend. Still potential tropical cyclone 2 expected to become a tropical storm pretty soon. Bonnie's the next name on the list. You can see that one will continue to push off to the west. There's still those 2 other areas National Hurricane Center is watching. The one in the Gulf near Houston, we're talking about a 40% chance of that developing in the next 48 hours, and still that one way out in the Atlantic. Again, continuing to keep an eye on activity really bumping up in the Atlantic. For us in southern New England today, low 80s, staying comfortable outside. We head through tonight, you get some passing clouds. Again, an isolated shower possible. I think the risk is low. I don't think that everybody sees it, but there may be a few overnight showers. We're back to sunshine very quickly for tomorrow with temperatures in the mid 80s. So looking ahead into our long weekend forecast, Friday is hot and humid. Firework activities, things for 4th of July pick up as soon as we get into the weekend. And most of the weekend looks okay. Saturday, though, that's going to be a tough evening for watching fireworks and getting things done outdoors. We're looking at a lot of rain, some isolated thunderstorms in the forecast, and some of that will linger overnight, continuing into Sunday morning. At least from there, we start to clear out, and more importantly, 4th of July is looking pretty good with temperatures in the mid 80s.
All right. I know everyone's been asking
Yes.
and trying to track down those firework forecasts.
Yeah, Saturday looks shaky, but if we can get it out of the way Saturday and even into Sunday morning, the rest of the weekend looks good.
All right, Chelsea, thank you so much. Still to come, free flight changes ahead of the 4th. The offering from Delta after weeks of travel trouble. Back now with a look at your consumer news. Ahead of a busy July 4th travel weekend, Delta is issuing a waiver that will let customers rebook their flights without paying change fees or fare differences. Travelers covered by the policy have tickets to fly between July 1st and July 4th, and travel must be rebooked and begin by July 8th and begin and end at the same airport that it was originally booked. The waiver allows customers to pay the same price for rebooked tickets, even if the new fare is more expensive. It also includes basic economy fares, which are normally excluded from such offers. Well, the Federal Trade Commission is going after the world's biggest retailer. It's now suing Walmart, accusing the company of not doing enough to stop scammers from taking advantage of its money transfer services. Federal officials say crooks have used Walmart services to cheat people out of tens of millions of dollars every year. The party is permanently over at Airbnb properties. The party ban was put in place on Airbnb about 6 months into the pandemic, but now the company has made it permanent, saying it's been received positively by hosts. Violators can be suspended or even removed from the platform. And some of the home goods ordered from Wayfair will soon arrive on self-driving trucks. The deliveries by Waymo's autonomous tractor trailers are part of a pilot program getting underway this month in Texas. Each truck will operate on its own under supervision of a driver and a software engineer. Well, still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, a robot that makes fresh, delicious pizza and then delivers it right to your door. Yep, you heard that right. We're going to tell you about this new invention coming up. We're going to check back in with Chelsea, too, for that afternoon forecast right after this. Pizza lovers, listen up. This is for you, Chelsea. Are you ready for a fully automated pizza-making robot on wheels? A team of former rocket scientists and restaurateurs in California have created just that. They're calling it the Stellar Pizza, and they do it all by scheduling their own bake times, making the pizzas en route, even looking at traffic patterns to ensure timely delivery. It took years of development, but they call it affordable, high-quality pizza straight from the oven to your door.
I'm just glad that our rocket scientists of the world are working on what's important.
Well, pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously.
We have our priorities
It's a pressing
straight.
issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. There's something too about like the good old-fashioned pizza,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I know.
It's pretty cool. All right, we're looking at sunshine outside today. Temps in the low to mid 80s, still relatively comfortable today. There may be an isolated shower overnight. I didn't even put it on the 7-day because it basically happens in the middle of the night and it's not a lot of rain, so I wouldn't count on that for your lawns. We're looking at sunshine back in the forecast by sunrise tomorrow, mid 80s tomorrow. Slowly feeling that humidity level creep up. Friday, though, hot and humid with some scattered rain and storms possible on Saturday.
Okay, all right, Chelsea, thank you. And thank you for joining us for the news at noon. The news continues first at 4. Have a great day, everybody.